All right, folks, let's talk about the great Canadian housing crisis again. But this time, we're zeroing in on one of the biggest, most counterproductive culprits killing new home construction in Canada: astronomical development charges. You'd think with the Housing Accelerator Fund launched over a year ago and other new shiny programs launched by the feds, we'd be on our way to solving the housing supply problem, right? Wrong. Municipalities are slamming on the brakes with eye-watering fees slapped on developers before they can even lay a brick. It's like trying to start a marathon while dragging a piano behind you. Welcome to Canada, where logic comes to die and housing dreams go with it. Let's break this mess down with some facts, some sarcasm, and just enough rage to keep you awake. Let's start with what these charges are actually all about. Development charges are fees municipalities charge developers to cover the cost of infrastructure, sewers, roads, parks, the essentials. Sound fair, right? Except these fees have ballooned to insane levels over the past 10 to 15 years. In Toronto, the average development charge for a single detached home is over $137,000. In Vancouver, try $125,000. And in smaller cities like Ottawa, you're still looking at almost $100,000 per unit. That's before you bought the land, paid for labor, or even thought about pouring any concrete. Developers aren't building homes, they're funding municipal budgets. City and town councilors have milked this revenue stream to death. And now, new construction is dead. Now, the federal government rolls out programs like the Housing Accelerator Fund, tossing billions of dollars to municipalities with a simple mandate: build more homes faster. It's like saying, here's $4 billion. Now go make housing more affordable. Sounds great in theory, but here's the problem. Municipalities aren't using this money to lower development charges or encourage construction. No. They're using it to patch their budgets while still charging developers sky-high fees. It's like giving someone a raise while simultaneously increasing their rent. The math doesn't math, people. To date, the Housing Accelerator Fund has been an absolute failure. And the result? Developers aren't building. Why? Because the math doesn't work. You can't charge over $100,000 per unit in fees, add rising interest rates, inflated land costs, and skyrocketing labor costs, and expect anyone to make a profit. Developers aren't charities, they're businesses. In Ontario alone, housing starts dropped by over 20% in 2023 and almost 80% to date in 2024. That's thousands of homes not being built in a country that's adding over 1 million new residents annually. We're already short over 3.5 million homes, and we're going backwards. This isn't a slowdown. This is a full-blown construction freeze. At this rate, the only thing being built in Canada is frustration. Forget condos and houses. Maybe we should start investing in tents. But why are these charges so high? Because municipalities are addicted to them. These fees are cash cows, accounting for as much as 20 to 30% of municipal revenue in some cities. Instead of raising property taxes or finding creative solutions, they offload infrastructure costs onto developers. It's a classic case of short-term gain and long-term pain. The irony? By making housing unaffordable to build, municipalities are killing their future tax base. Fewer homes means fewer taxpayers, and fewer taxpayers means, you guessed it, less revenue. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face, except the face is your city and the nose is affordable housing. And who gets hit hardest by this madness? You, the Canadian homeowner, the first-time buyer, the renter trying to save for a down payment. Development charges don't just evaporate into the ether, they get passed on. When a developer faces $100,000 in fees per unit, guess what happens? The final sale price skyrockets. And when developers stop building altogether, the housing supply crunch gets worse, driving prices even higher. It's a vicious cycle where everyone loses, except the municipalities collecting their fat checks. Development charges are the hidden fee of the Canadian housing market. You're not just paying for a home, you're paying for the mayor's next ribbon cutting ceremony. So what's the solution? Simple. Stop using development charges as a cash grab. Municipalities need to rein in these fees and start using federal housing funds to actually spur development, not pad their budgets. We also need provincial and federal governments to step in and cap these charges, or better yet, create incentives for developers who build affordable housing. It's time to treat housing as the essential infrastructure it is, not a luxury item for municipalities to tax to death. Infrastructure costs should be paid for over the useful life of the project and not up front by the new home buyer. The province of Quebec amortizes the cost of infrastructure over time and have some of the lowest development charges in the country. Maybe there's something to learn here. Here's the takeaway, folks. Canada's housing crisis isn't just about demand, it's about supply. And right now, development charges are acting as the ultimate bottleneck. The federal government is trying to accelerate housing construction while municipalities are slamming on the brakes. Developers are stuck in neutral, and Canadians are paying the price, literally. If we don't fix this broken system, the only thing we'll be accelerating is the decline of housing affordability in this country. So municipalities, provinces, feds, get your act together. Lower the charges, build the homes, and stop pretending that developers are ATMs with endless cash. Thanks for watching. Don't let bad policy mess with your finances. Subscribe to Owl Mortgage for real talk, real strategies, and real solutions to navigate Canada's chaotic housing market, because somebody's got to make sense of this mess, and it might as well be us.